Sunday night, and you're live from the point. The weekend's fading, bikes are in the shed. Got stories of the open road running through my head, from six gaps curves to a tale of the dragon run. The riding is over, but the talking's just begun. It's fellowship, fatherhood, and freedom we share. Got your questions and comments right here on the air. So pull up a chair and let's get it right. Live from the point on a Sunday night. Thanks for stopping by to visit with me. I know there's plenty more out there for us to see. If you like what you're seeing, smash subscribe for me. It's fellowship, fatherhood, and freedom we share. Got your questions and comments right here on the air. So pull up a chair and let's get it right. Live from the point on a Sunday night. It's fellowship, fatherhood, and freedom we share. Got your questions and comments right here on the air. So pull up a chair and let's get it right. Live from the point on a Sunday night.
What's going on, guys? It's Burroughs Point here, coming to you from my new makeshift studio. I guess it's the same place that I've always been. I have recorded videos in here from time to time, so welcome to episode 3 of Live from the Point. And so we're going to be going through a couple different things tonight. I guess the title of this particular webcam or live stream, I guess, was supposed to be about AI on YouTube and the scourge of motorcycle channel AI, things of that nature. We're definitely going to get into that. But I wanted to kind of start off with, we are this close, literally this close from 1,000 subscribers. As of right now, let me go ahead and just pull it up here. And I had to restart my computer, so nothing is pulled up, but that's okay. Let's see if we can adjust this light a little bit. It's a little bright. That is the wrong remote. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit better. Let's see. All right, we're sitting at 986 subscribers. So we are this close, literally, from being able to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. If we could hit that tonight, that'd be great. But you know, here's holding out hope. Anyhow, any way it goes, though, I just wanted to thank each and every one of y'all who are watching this live stream live right now, as well as everyone who's watching this later after it's been recorded. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your love and support up to this point. I've been working on this channel for a little while, and I know I've said this over the last couple episodes, but I've been working on this channel for quite a while now, and I've poured a lot of love and soul into it, and I feel like we're just now getting to a point where this thing is starting to catch some momentum. And when I started this thing, I started it with a goal, and it's been my goal to try to provide quality entertainment for everyone out there in the YouTube's land. And you know, if I'm not making content that y'all like, then you know I need to adjust what I'm doing. So again, I'm just stoked that there's almost 1,000 of y'all out there that think that what I have to say is entertaining, informative, or some combination of the two. Let's see if we can adjust this down. And this whole production tonight is probably going to be something on the fly, because ooh, I like that. Quite literally, these are settings I have not played with yet. And the studio setup, like I said, it's first live stream in here, so the studio setup is going to be a work in progress, just like the last couple live streams have been. But yeah, we'll just go with that. Let's see. Of course, I will be watching the chat throughout the night, so if you have something to say, sound off there in the chat. I'll be checking it from time to time once I get off of my soapbox and can think rationally, I guess, as we chug along here. Let me pull up my notes that I had put together for this live stream tonight. But yeah, like I said, I'm just stoked that there's a certain critical mass of y'all that have some interest in what I'm saying, and I just appreciate all the love and support up to this point. And again, if you haven't done so, reach out to your friends, your family, those that you know that are into motorcycles, may like motorcycles, anything like that. If you think that my channel would be entertaining, informative to them, please share it with them, have them subscribe, grab your friend's phone, hit that subscribe button on your friend's phone. I would greatly appreciate it. So I think we're sitting at 14 subscribers away from the big shebang. Again, our main push right now is going to be to 1,000 subscribers. So, man, it just seems wild to me sitting here saying that. But you know, like I said, I appreciate all of y'all and all of y'all's support. So let's get into some of the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to talk about tonight. And that's going to be the AI misinformation problem on YouTube. Now, if y'all, I am a consumer of YouTube. I'm not just a content creator. I actually consume quite a bit of YouTube myself. But what I've found, as some of y'all know, I ride a Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager. And out of all of the types of motorcycles that are available to the public and people who are content creators that ride, I probably have a minority. I'm probably in the minority of the different. So what I was saying was, right. So I am also a consumer of the YouTubes as well. And, not only do I create, but I watch a lot of content. And I, as a Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager rider and content creator, there's not a lot of other content creators who has that type of motorcycle who do YouTube videos. So the amount of content about that particular motorcycle, there's just not a whole lot of it out there. But you know, I'm out there putting stuff out there, and there's a couple of other content creators that do, but it's not nearly as ubiquitous as Indian riders or Harley Davidson riders. And so as a result of that, like I said, it's the content when you do a search specifically for Voyager, there's very particular content that comes up. It's a very targeted search, and you'll get some things. But what I've found is very aggravating and difficult to deal with is that there are a number of faceless YouTube channels out there that the tagline for this channel is fellowship, fatherhood, and freedom. The fatherhood being the secondary tenet on here. So definitely is an aspect of live streaming in this channel. But anyhow, so we're talking about faceless YouTube channels, right? So if you do a search on YouTube for Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager, there's going to be there's going to be certain videos that crop up, and there's a number of faceless YouTube channels out there. And what is an issue for me is on these faceless YouTube channels, they'll put out basically misinformation. And I hesitate to use that word because that's such a hot button topic word in our culture in 2025. But legitimately, these videos, in my opinion, are just misinformation, because they'll come up and say, this is going to be the 2026 Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager. And it's released at some time like this, like now in the year, right? But Kawasaki has not released any details about their 2026 models. Kawasaki usually does a press release, and in that press release, they have a lot of build-up and information leading up to the big release of all the models, and they'll do the big release of the models in a big press release / news conference, and it's a big to-do, right? But you got channels out there that put out, oh, this is the 2025, 2026 Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager, and that it's coming back with a, this, that engine or whatnot, but it's all baloney. And if you take a look at the images, all of the images are AI generated images. So it's really just a bunch of hokum. And really some of these details too, you can tell that not only is the voiceover a artificial voiceover, you can tell it's a robotic type voice, but it's literally just a voiceover that speaks nonsense. And you can tell because it says stuff like, whereas you have a Vulcan Voyager, most people who have these type of motorcycles know that it's a 1700cc engine, right? So it will say, and the 2026 Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager is featuring a 1,700, cubic centimeter engine. It's definitely not someone who's in the know of the terminology. But what's aggravating about this particular type of video, right, is not only is it misinformation, right, because it is. We're talking about things that don't exist, or we're talking about things that are radically different than what they're represented on the YouTube channel or on the particular video. But it creates problems and bottlenecks for content creators like myself who are trying to make content on these particular subjects. And we do our research, we do our homework, and we try to put that information out there and try to present it in a form that's accessible to you, the viewer. And then there's tons of these low effort, nonsense AI videos out there that are basically spreading misinformation. And here's where it gets even worse, where literally we've entered the human caterpillar type scenario, is that you have people spamming these AI faceless video channels that are talking about sheer nonsense on YouTube. Then someone may go and Google, what does the 2026 Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager look like? Well, then Google will pull from the Googleverse, and part of this is if you do a Google search in June of 2025, you're going to see a box that says generative AI results, and then below it will be some kind of disclaimer. It says, these may be, this is experimental, it may not be accurate, what have you, but it'll come up with certain results. And the Google platform on this generative AI will pull from these crap AI junk videos and then spew out misinformation that's not true and say, oh, well, according to this video on YouTube, the 2026 Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager is going to be fill in the blank there. So it literally becomes it literally comes full circle where all of this misinformation is feeding into Google, which is then pumping out misinformation to other people. So it's really just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's crap. And it's not just Kawasaki Vulcan Voyager. Other types of motorcycles, they'll do all these faceless AI videos on these different AI generated photographs or AI generated images of motorcycles, and they'll say, well, this is this model or this is this model. It's the 2026 Harley Davidson Electroglide, and we know that the Electroglide no longer exists, but you'll see stuff like that. And I'm not going to link any particular YouTube channel, and for a couple different reasons. One, I'm not out here to flame particular YouTube channels, and two, I don't want to give them the glory of the clicks, right? But you've got all of this junk that's getting out there, and that's clogging up YouTube essentially, and it's creating really big problems with misinformation. So how can you tell? And this is going to be for some of the older viewers out there, right? Because it may take you a minute to kind of figure out, and heck, it does for me too. I'm not just saying because, it may affect the older viewers, but how can you tell that this is a crap AI video that you're watching? And I will say that as we go along, as technology gets better, I know I've seen a lot of AI generated videos out there, and some of them are really, really well done. I know Google VO is putting out, VO3 is putting out some really awesome videos right now that, people are doing like time traveler to biblical times. What if Jesus was an influencer? What if Moses was an influencer? Noah was an influencer? And it's just having all these videos of like Noah and the ark, and he's doing selfies with the monkeys and stuff like that. Google VO is getting really, really good. So the question becomes, how can you tell when something is, AI misinformation? Not saying that the AI is providing misinformation. I'm saying that this is another junk clickbait video. Well, one of the ways you can tell is the voice. Some of the really low effort ones will use a crappy voiceover, and it'll be, that type of voice. It's kind of easy to spot. One of the other things that would tip you off as to this may be something to be more, to pay more attention to, is something that is faceless, a faceless YouTube channel, right? So like this channel, you're watching me right now. I'm a flesh and blood human being. This is a faced YouTube channel where, you see a real human being and I'm talking to you and we're having a conversation. These other faceless YouTube channels, they'll just have images, AI generated images, and a voiceover. They won't ever show their face. So that's one thing to be concerned about. Next, the way to tell is the visuals. Take a look at the pictures. Are they consistent? If they show a particular model, are there differences between the images of the particular model? Does it show the 360 of the model, or does each particular view of the model look radically different? If that's the case, you're probably looking at an AI junk video. They're going to be bizarre looking. They're going to have things that don't make any sense. They may be in a realistic looking area, and they may resemble even a shoot, some kind of track shoot or something like that. But take a look at the consistency between images. If none of it's making sense, it just doesn't make sense. Look at the terminology that's used, especially in the voice, kind of going back to the voice. Listen to the terminology. Dead giveaways, if it's something like I said earlier, if it doesn't get the numbers right or there's something off about that, you're probably dealing with the AI junk video. Vague sources. If they can't link to a press release, or if they can't link to an official website or something like that, and they just say, well, sources are saying, or rumors suggest, or things like that, and they're basing it off of nothing, you're probably looking at some junk AI generated crap if you're you know, if you've got the other factors in play there. One of the other thing is one of the other things is like look at the title, if it's really sensational or bombastic or something like that. And this is kind of less of a for sure tell, because I do, you know, sensational titles sometimes, but if you see something sensational like confirmed leak or something like that, take a look at that with more scrutiny. It's probably not necessarily real. But you know, the main issue with all of these videos is that they have these images and they have this the video, and they try to pawn it off as, well, this is what I would like to see, or this is what you know, what I would expect that Kawasaki is going to release, or Suzuki or Harley Davidson. This is what I would like to see, or this is what I think it is. But they don't pawn it off that way. They pawn it off that way, but they don't actually portray it that way. They portray it as an actual type of you know, realistic thing, like they're breaking news or something like that. And really, at the end of the day, what they're trying to get is views, clicks, likes, and engagement. And so what can you do if you run across one of these types of videos? Well, what I would say in the beginning is that if you're going to rely upon information from YouTube, try to source it from YouTube channels that are more reliable than others. So if you have a YouTube channel that has a consistent track record of being able to show their sources, being able to link to things, and putting out accurate information, I would trust them more than I would certain other ones that are just generic. Take a look at the subscriber count. How many subscribers does that channel have? Does it have 50 subscribers, but it has a ton of views? You know, that would be kind of suspect. It wouldn't be the only thing, but it would be one of those factors that you're like, oh, you know, what's going on here? One of the other things I would say that you would look out for, or I guess that you could, so one of the things that you can do rather, is that you don't want to give them any more watch time than they're already getting, right? You've already clicked on them, you've been duped, right? You're in the middle of this video and you can tell it's some AI generated junk content. First and foremost, don't give them any more watch time than you already have. So click off that video, get out of that video, don't patronize them anymore. Secondly, you can go to that user and right click on that user and say suggest less. That will get it out of your feed so it doesn't show up. That reduces their impressions. You can, I wouldn't comment. Some people get angry and they put comments in there and they're like, well, you know, this is some garbage, whatever. Don't leave any comments. It just helps to drive their engagement. What you can do is hit that thumbs down button. That kind of tells the YouTube algorithm that, hey, this is content that I don't want to see. And if enough people hit that and they get ratioed, their views go down significantly. One of the other things you can do too is if you believe it violates YouTube's terms of service, you can report that channel for spreading information or misinformation, if you believe that that's the case. So check that out. Let's see, just scrolling through some of my notes that I have written over here. But you know, it's just, it's aggravating. You see stuff like that, and it's, as a content creator, like I said, we're trying to fight that deluge of stuff to put out our information and to make quality content for y'all to consume. And when folks are just creating all this this junk, it's hard to kind of keep up with. But I will say that with y'all's help, if you subscribe to the, don't subscribe to these AI channels, first of all. That helps to push their engagement and get their content out there for other people to look at. And they'll go and buy likes and there's other ways that you can cheat the system. But subscribe to the channels that are legitimate, that are putting out information. You know, that's probably one of the best ways to beat this junk content, is by promoting actual real content from real content creators that are doing things. out there. So that's probably one of the best ways to combat that is promote the content that's worthwhile. And then for the junk content, disengage with it as much as possible. And, you know, I've seen Facebook posts where people are like, hey, you know, look at this new motorcycle, and it's not real. It's junk, AI junk content. So, you know, if you've been duped by it, I'm not calling you out or anything on it. I mean, some of these things look pretty dang convincing. But, you know, it's just, you know, as society continues to evolve and AI becomes more pervasive in our society, these are issues that we're going to have to deal with. And AI, that's not to say I can't talk. That's not to say AI is all bad. I use AI in this YouTube channel to help with doing some background research and things of that nature. So it's not all bad. But, you know, it's just some people, so I'm trying to be careful with my words here. There are some jobs and professions that are out there that the use of AI has been severely curtailed. And in order to use AI, you have to double and triple check its work. And if you put it out there, it's a reflection of you as a professional, right? And if you put out junk content, essentially, you've signed your name to it, and there's consequences. Well, the problem with the faceless YouTube channels is there are no consequences to it, and you can just spam out as much junk content as you want. And so until such a time that YouTube is able to rein some of this stuff in, if they're ever able to, we're just going to have to deal with it. So that's kind of the world we live in. But like I said, you can directly combat that by subscribing to channels, promoting channels, sharing content from real content creators, from content creators that do the background information, that do the background checks, that does the research, and ensure that all the stuff out there, at least to the best degree possible, is accurate or is entertaining or engaging and is not, you know, just low effort junk. So, I know I've said a lot, and I know it sounds like I'm really on a soapbox right now, and I kind of am. But, you know, I'm very passionate about this because I didn't start creating content with the intent of becoming the next Mr. Beast. Trust me, I had no ambitions. No, I have no ambitions to do that. But I create content because I like to, because it's a passion of mine, and I like sharing my love for motorcycle riding, and I love sharing the community with everyone else out there. But you know, we have to protect our community because you know there's all kinds of dangers out there that threaten the motorcycle community, the motorcycle lifestyle in general, whether that be from legislation, inattentive drivers, you know, the aging out of folks in the sport. There's all these factors threaten the motorcycle lifestyle, the motorcycle way of life. And one of the factors too is, you know, protecting our media sources, because up until recently, there was no, you know, you didn't have a dedicated motorcycle channel that you could turn on and exactly watch the content that you want to watch. We have that now with YouTube, but we have to, in order to keep that, right, in order to have that ultra specialized media content for us to consume inside of our community, we're going to need to protect our community, just like we would protect our community when we're out riding on motorcycles, just like you ride defensively, just like you wear your gear. You know, this is another way to kind of protect your community. So that's why I guess I'm so passionate about it. So don't mind me. But anyhow, let's turn to the comments real quick. Let's see. All right. No comments, no chats, no nothing. Got it. That's okay. But anyhow, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Let's see here. Just looking through this. Yep. So that was pretty much all the points I wanted to hit on the AI front. However, if you're watching this, or if you're watching this later, if you're watching this live, have you been duped by an AI content channel before? What are your thoughts and feelings about it? What are your thoughts and feelings about the faceless YouTube channels? Leave a comment or drop a note here in the chat. I'd love to talk to y'all about it. Absolutely would. On another note, tonight we tried to push this back to 7:30 in order to make this a little bit more palatable time. Unfortunately, my schedule and the way it is that Sunday nights are pretty much my best opportunity to do a live stream. So if we're going to try 7:30 to 8:30 and see if that happens, 7:30 to 8:30 Central Time, and see if that helps a little bit with folks. I know that I had a couple of folks reach out to me and say, hey, that previous live stream, that was way too late. I couldn't do that. So again, this is only the third live stream, so we're still playing with the time slot here. So, we're going to work on that. Let's see. All right. So now that we've kind of beat that horse against the AI horse, I guess. If there's other thoughts that y'all have, we can talk about those. We just released a video today about the Kawasaki recall. If you haven't heard about that one, or you haven't checked out that video, make sure you check it out. Kawasaki has released information about the ZX6R, how there are a number of ZX6Rs, and I guess the guesstimation on the number of motorcycles affected was somewhere around 10,000 motorcycles. But there is it's a pretty dire warning too. There's a seal in the crankcase, or there's some kind of issue with the crankcase there where it can lock up essentially, and you can just have your entire bike lock up while you're going down the road. So they've issued a stop riding order on it. So if you have a Kawasaki ZX6R, a 2025 year model, stop riding it. Contact your local Kawasaki dealership or NHTSA for further information on that. I think you can also contact Kawasaki customer care. I don't know what that number is off the top of my head, but check that video out. All the information is going to be in that video. Also, earlier this week, we put out the information about the Harley-Davidson recall. There's something like 80,000 Harley-Davidson Softails that are currently under recall because of an issue with, I think it was something in the suspension. There's a part that can rub against the tire and cause the tire to fail. So definitely reach out to Harley-Davidson customer support. Actually, first of all, go back and watch that video to get the exact models, because I put all that out in that particular video. But check that video out. Reach out to Harley-Davidson customer support if you own a 2024 or 2025 Harley-Davidson Softail. I think it's actually a little bit earlier than that, but if you think you're in that category, go back and watch that video. All that information is in that video. Also contained in that video is the information about the Honda recall, where Honda is recalling the Honda Rebel 1100. There's a couple of other, I think the Africa Twin is one of them. So all you adventure bike bros, get that checked out. Check out that video. I got all the year models, all that stuff on that video. Make sure you reach out to your respective company, manufacturer, customer supports in order to get more information about those recalls. You don't want to sleep on those recalls. I think with the issue with the Africa Twin and the Honda Rebel, the Honda Rebel, that's where there will be an oil leak on your rear tire. So you don't want to mess with that. And then, like I said, if you're riding down the road with a Harley Softail and the rear tire blows out, you don't want to be in that particular boat either. So make sure you reach out to your respective customer supports and get those checked out. In other news, we've been hard at work here at the Burroughs Point channel. I say we, as if it wasn't just a one-man operation. have been busy here at Burroughs Point in order to produce some other videos. We've got some pretty awesome videos coming up, a lot of great content that will be dropping in the next several weeks. So make sure you, if you haven't already done so, hit that subscribe button down there, hit that like button, make sure you hit that notification bell to be advised of new content when it drops. We drop content every Sunday and Wednesday at 1 p.m. We try to aim for 1 p.m. But Sundays and Wednesdays are when we drop content. So make sure you check that out. Hit that, like I said, hit that subscribe button. I checked the demographics on this channel. I think something like 20% of the viewership is subscribed. So if you're in that 80% who's not subscribed, you know, hit that subscribe. And it's really it's the most, the best way to support this channel, the cheapest way to support this channel, because it's free for you. So hit that subscribe button, help a brother out. Let's see. So we've got the Harley recall. We've got the Kawasaki. Oh, the other thing about Kawasaki is not only do they recall the ZX6R, but there's also a number of dirt bikes. So I know this isn't exactly for everyone here. I know not everyone has you know, mostly we're street riders in here, but if you have a Kawasaki dirt bike, check out that Kawasaki recall video, because there'll be information about the dirt bikes that are being recalled over there. You definitely don't want to be, that's another crankcase issue, by the way. So that could be a catastrophic failure waiting to happen. So make sure you check that out if you've got a Kawasaki dirt bike. Oh, almost forgot. So BAM. Going to plug BAM one more time. If you're not aware, we've got the Bama Motovlogger, blah, 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 blah. The Bama Motovlogger meetup. And that's going to be September 19th to September, I think it's 21st. Yeah, September 19th to September 21st, 2025. We're going to be meeting up at the over in Sylacauga and doing a great ride across central Alabama. We're going to be hitting a lot of those most popular rides across central Alabama. I know I will be there. I think I'm not going to put his business out there. I didn't really get a confirmation, but I do believe there's going to be, there's going to be two more, at least one other content creator that will be coming. There may be some other content creators coming up, so I don't want to necessarily put them out until they confirm that they're going to be in attendance, but I for sure will be there, and I'll be at the host hotel. The host hotel for this particular event will be the Hilton, wow, I can't talk today, Holiday Inn Express over in Sylacauga, Alabama. It's the only one in town. But we'll be over at the Holiday Inn Express. When you go to book a room, we did get a room block. So make sure you call the hotel directly to book. Make sure you mention when you're with BGP, that's going to be the room block code. Mention code BGP when you're reserving your hotel room in order to get in on the room block. We've got a special rate for BAM attendees. We'll be hanging out Friday night. Kickstands up Saturday morning, riding across central Alabama, back to the hotel sometime Saturday afternoon, and hanging out that night, and then everyone will be rolling out on Sunday morning. So make sure you check that out. Like I said, that's going to be September 19th to the 21st, 2025. BAM, the first annual Bama Motovlogger meetup in Sylacauga, Alabama. Don't miss it. I went over to GAMM, G-A-M-M, the Georgia Motovlogger meetup, and met up with Blue Bike and Doyle, Ray Gregory Rides, a couple of the other guys over there. It was a hoot. I had a great time. Some of those guys are really awesome. Rolling with T-Bone, he was over there. There's a few other motovloggers, but I had a great time. I enjoyed myself. So we anticipate doing something very similar here for BAM. So do not miss it. You'll have a great time if you come. So let's see. And so let's see. Yeah, I was just looking through some of the other announcements. I think we're good on some of that other stuff. I'll be doing a few more product review videos here shortly. You'll see some of them drop. I know that since it's summertime, there's some interest. So I guess backing up a step, my philosophy, and I've said this in a couple of other videos, is that I am a rider that rides with pretty much as much gear as I can ride with. So I like to put on my, I like to have something to cover my upper body, some pads, some armor in place, because I have a aversion to losing my skin on the pavement. When I was little, I fell off my bike and scraped my knee on the pavement, and I don't want to relive that, going much faster and all that stuff. So I do try to wear armor whenever I can. I wear gloves. I wear jeans. I have an armored jacket usually when I ride. One of the things that I have started recently, and I reached out to Bond Body Armor, which is a pretty awesome company out of I believe it's North Carolina, where they're based out of. But they have some pretty awesome products. I reviewed one product, the pants that they have. It's pretty much very, very thin mesh pants, and I wore them for GAM, and they also have a shirt, a mesh shirt, and I wore that the other day. I think it was like 88 degrees. It was high 80 degrees yesterday when I was out riding around, and I'll do a full review on that particular product. But I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a warm weather solution for your armor needs, check out Bond Body Armor and their Cool Air armor system, because I'll tell you what, me personally, when I was wearing that stuff, it felt like I wasn't hardly wearing anything at all. I really have been enjoying these both the shirt and the pants. And the great thing about it is I've signed up with them to be an advertising affiliate. So if you use promo code BA Calvin at checkout over there at Bond Body Armor, you'll get $10 off your order of $100 or more if you use that promo code. It's a great way, I guess, for me to give back to the Burroughs Point community and have you be able to save $1 or $2 when you go over there and try to, if you're interested in getting that type of armor. So like I said, if you are interested in getting some armor to keep you safe and cool in the hot summer riding season that we've got coming up, especially if you're here in the deep south where I am, use promo code BA Calvin for $10 off your order of $100 or more over at bondbodyarmor.com. All right, so we're coming against our we're coming down to our last 15 minutes here in the live stream. I'll check the chats one more time. Okay, no other chats. So I guess I'll wind this down by saying that I know, like I said, there's a ton of content that's out there, and I know that when you sit down and decide how you want to spend your time and what you want to watch, and everyone. So I guess there was a survey that was done that I'm trying to think of, a survey that was done a few years ago, and I think this is pre-COVID. But I think some of this stuff still holds true, is that it was a question of what is your favorite type of entertainment. And, some people had TV shows, some people had video games, some people had movies, some people had other things on there. But I kid you not, the number one entertainment that was on that list, that was listed, how do you spend your leisure time? What do you enjoy doing in your leisure time? The number one thing on there was sleep. I kid you not. So when you make your decision to how to spend your leisure time, do so wisely. Don't waste your time. I guess the takeaway from this is don't waste your time on AI junk channels. But me, as a flesh and blood content creator here, I am humbly appreciative of the fact that out of all the things that you can do in your leisure time, including sleep, by the way, out of all the things that you can do in your leisure time, that you care enough about the motorcycle community or are interested enough in the motorcycle community to listen to little old me. So again, I appreciate it. And so one of the things I really want to make y'all aware of too is that when you leave comments on the videos that I produce, I respond or try to respond to each and every one of them. So if you have some ideas, if you have some thoughts, if you have information that you want to share, leave a comment. I will respond at some point, whether it be the day of or maybe a few days later. I respond. We're still a small enough channel here that I still respond to all comments, and it is me behind the keyboard. So if you want to have a conversation in the comments, I'm more than happy to. But if you have some other information, or if you want to share something with me, or if you have an idea for a video or something that you want to see, leave it in the comments. I would love to have that conversation with you. And if it's something that I can do, I am all for suggestions and things of that nature. So yeah, I'd be more than happy to make videos, to please the people, to give the people what they want. So as long as it's within reason, as long as I'm able to do it. So, that's, again, this has always been a labor of love for me. And again, if I end up being the next Mr. Beast, that's fine. But it's never been, I never set out to do that. This has always been a labor of love. And just because I love the motorcycle community, I love riding bikes, and I've said this several times, I've never met a stranger in the motorcycle community. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for y'all's interaction and things of that nature. It's been a wild and fun ride so far. I've been doing this for like a year and some change now. So it's been a great, fun, wild ride, and I hope to have many more with y'all. Big shout out here as we close out our hour. Big shout out to Blue Bike and Doyle and Her Three Wheels. They came down, I guess it was yesterday. They came down yesterday, day before yesterday actually. Came down here day before yesterday, had dinner with me and my family, got to sit down, hang out with them for a little while. On Saturday, I took them around Lake Martin and gave them the grand tour of the lake. We took a great video, or I took a great video of the time. I'll be editing that up and posting the video of that ride, but always a great time meeting other content creators. If anyone wants to come down here and hang out and want to see the sights around Lake Martin, I'm more than happy to take you around if you're local to Alabama, or even if you're trying to swing down south and check out some stuff that you've never had the opportunity to check out before. And you're a fellow content creator, hit me up. Let's collab. I'm all for it. I love meeting other content creators. It's pretty interesting. Like I said, never met a stranger in this lifestyle, and it's pretty awesome. But there is one thing, and I actually didn't know if it would show up on here or not. I would have set it up over there. I guess if I can point correctly, set it up there behind the chair. Doyle actually, this dude, let me tell you about Doyle. All right. I know he does a lot of videos, and he's got a personality he does for YouTube, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone's a personality, right? Especially YouTubers. But the guy is like a genius when it comes to metalworking. And, me personally, I don't know anything about fabrication, metalworking, anything like that. That's not what I grew up with. I just don't know anything about it. And this may be really simple, and I may sound like a moron, but the dude actually did like a work of art, and I'll bring this up here so y'all can see this thing that he made for me. But I was actually pretty impressed by it. So let me grab it real quick. It's right behind here. So I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see this. So Doyle made this thing, and it's metal, and it's kind of, I'm trying to hold it where the camera can see it. There we go. It's solid metal, and it smells like if I sniffed it enough, I'd get high. But you know, this he made this thing. It's made out of metal. It's just powder, or not powder coated, but it's just painted. But it's he made a metal sign for me, and when we get moved into the permanent studio that I have planned, which is not this one, we'll put this up on the wall and have it to where we can display it along with other accoutrements. But yeah, this thing I was pretty impressed. Like I said, it doesn't take much to impress me when it comes to this type of stuff, because I don't know anything about fabrication, metalworking, nothing like that. I didn't grow up with any of it. I know agriculture, I know woodworking, I can turn a wrench, but yeah, some of this stuff, this is beyond me, and so this was pretty impressive. So let me just set it up over here. Now that I know that you guys can see it, there we go. Now that I know that you guys can see it, I might just leave it up over there. We got go in the chats. I got Whiskey Mike 80, rock on, brother. Thanks for coming in and watching. Whiskey Mike 80, he's a cool guy. I knew him from my time in the service, so appreciate you, brother. Thanks for dropping by and saying hello. So that's pretty much all the things that are going on right now in the world of Burroughs Point. We've just been hard at work producing videos, trying to get some stuff to market for everyone. I know at one point in time we had reduced down to one video a week. Right now I am on track to do 2 videos a week for the foreseeable future. So we're back, baby, at least to an extent. So we'll just keep putting out videos, and as long as I can sustain doing 2, if I have to drop back down to 1, I'll drop back down to 1, but I don't really want to. So we'll just continue doing 2 videos as long as we can. So anyhow, yeah, that's pretty much it for me tonight. I'll hang out here for the next 5 minutes. I owe y'all 5 more minutes. So, but we'll hang out here for the next 5 minutes. If something pops up in the chat, we'll respond. But I'm just kind of BSing my way through at this point. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, I'm just like I said, I'm just stoked to put on episode 3. Looking forward to episode 4. So we're going to aim for 7:30 next Sunday night. So Sunday night, Burroughs Point, live from the point, 7:30 to 8:30 Central. We'll just put that on. Go ahead and put that on your calendar. Show up. We'll be here doing the live stream. So for the foreseeable, until, you know, if that time doesn't work, we may move it around a little bit. But as of right now, 7:30 to 8:30 Central Time, every Sunday night, live from the point with Burroughs Point, here on the Burroughs Point YouTube channel. We'll be here. So, one more thing, I guess I wanted to put this out there because I've had a few people ask me about this particular question. What is the status of the bike acquisition? Well, that is a good question. The status of the bike acquisition currently is that I am still exploring options. I did my number of test runs at Road Atlanta. There'll be a cumulative, I guess a video actually. I've put together a video about my rides at test rides at Road Atlanta. That will drop here shortly. So keep an eye out for that. But I am still I still am interested in riding a couple more motorcycles. I would like to get my hands on a BMW R18 Transcontinental. I would like to get my hands on a Honda Goldwing to ride those two platforms to make sure that those are not roads that I want to go down. I think that if I'm going to spend this much money on a motorcycle, that I owe it to myself to make sure I suss that out and make sure I make the correct decision. So definitely not trying to rush anything. I want to do my due diligence, because whatever bike I end up with, what I don't want to do is end up being in a position to want to trade that thing in a short amount of time. I want to keep whatever bike I ended up buying. I want to keep that thing till the wheels fall off. So I want to be able to be happy with my purchase and to be able to stick with it. So still have a few more test rides to do. Unfortunately, I don't have those test rides scheduled at this point. And with the summer heating up and things starting to happen, it may be on towards the fall before I can get around to those test rides. But hey, no harm, no foul. We were planning on purchasing in 26 anyway, so that will also potentially open some doors. We'll give Kawasaki another year to try to figure out whatever that they're going to figure out. So if they magically decide to release an updated Voyager for 26, that would be interesting. That would definitely throw a wrench into the works. But that's where we're at. So just holding out for a little while and doing my due diligence, trying to make sure I'm comparing apples to apples, oranges to oranges, and then comparing the apples to oranges to figure out which one tastes better. That's kind of where we're at right now. So anyhow, again, as we close out our time here, for all y'all that have joined me tonight, thank you. For all of y'all who are watching later after this hits the YouTube platform, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me for another hour of Live from the Point. Really quick, I want to check one more time to see what our subscriber count is. Remember, we are pushing to 1,000. We're making that push to 1,000. When I checked it earlier, we're still 14 subscribers away from 1,000. So share this video, share this channel with everyone you know. Get them to hit that subscribe button. It's the cheapest, most free way to support this channel. Show YouTube that this is content that people want to watch. And like I said, hitting that subscribe, it's a free way to support this channel without costing you a dime. So please hit that subscribe button. Share this channel with everyone else. Have them hit the subscribe button. We want to boost these numbers up and make that run to 1,000. So as we close out our hour here, let's check what our subscriber count is at this point in time. Let's grab my keyboard and stuff. Let's see here. As of 8:30 p.m. on June 22nd, we are at 985 subscribers. So I can't math. That's what, 15, right? I think 15 subscribers. Yes, 15 more subscribers. We need 15 more subscribers to get to that 1,000 mark. So, like I said, share it with everybody. Y'all know the drill. So again, thank you for joining me for another hour of Live from the Point. We'll see you next week at 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Next Sunday night, every Sunday night, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Meet us here, Live from the Point. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Holy crap. Okay. We were about to sign off. Like 2 seconds away. Literally was about to hit that button. But Whiskey Mike 80 sending I guess that's a super thanks. Anyhow, yeah, sending that super thanks for $5. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. That's every little bit helps to produce the content. And for those of y'all, all right, I'm going to get on a little bit of the soapbox. So y'all forgive me for this, but everything that all the production costs, everything that goes into this YouTube channel, there's a lot. Super chat, thank you. Right on. So anyhow, there's a lot of investments that's made into this YouTube channel, and so there's a little bit of support that comes out of other means. As of this moment, one of the reasons why we're running to 1,000 is I'm not monetized yet, right? So not from the YouTube perspective. So getting this channel to 1,000 really opens a lot of doors to be able to increase the quality of the content, increase the amount of content here. So every little bit helps. Thank you, Whiskey Mike 80 for the super chat. And man, again, from the bottom of my heart, next time you're down this way, brother, I know you ride too, so we need to get together and hit something up. I don't know if you're out in Texas or what, but I'll hit you up. I'm actually planning a trip out to Texas later this year. If that's where you're at, I don't remember. Anyhow, I'll hit you up. We'll figure it out. Anyhow, again, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next Sunday night live from the Point on the Burroughs Point YouTube channel, 7:30 to 8:30 next Sunday night. Thank y'all.